Hello, everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. I hope you're all doing very, very well. Big up to all of you that's watching live. A little bit later than usual. Apologies. Generally, it's meant to be a 10 o'clock show, but about 20 minutes late, so apologies for that. Yeah, Kev, it's been a while since we've been on a show together. I think a lot of people have been wondering where you were, but good to see you back on, mate.
Yeah, I went into hideout. But I'm back. Back in full effect. And I'm back and ready to indulge with a lot of topics the last few days with Charles. Couple signings. Still haven't discussed how I feel about the end of the season as well. So we've had a positive end to the season. This time last week we were celebrating a win in Walker. So it's been a good couple of weeks, mate. But yeah, but it's good to catch up and let's catch up on some stuff with Chelsea.
It is, man. Well, I'll ask you then, because obviously you did mention it. I mean, we haven't really had a chance to speak on a live show since the last day. Obviously, I did an interview outside the ground at Forest. So, yeah. I mean, how would you describe it?
I think we've got to give credit where it's due. I think the progression of the club has gone in the right direction. To think that 3 years ago we was all worried about this project and where it was going, and they have slowly got it together. And we're in a point where we've got our first cup under this regime and we've got Champions League. So it's a step in the right direction. I still feel like we need to win a domestic trophy next year, either FA Cup or hopefully the Premier League. We can compete in, but it's just starting to the signings. And Liam Delap is not a bad first signing. We're going after this French keeper as well, Maignan. That's not a bad signing as well, if we can pull that off. So,
Maignan, that one.
Maignan. Sorry, I pronounced his name wrong. Mike Maignan, AC Milan keeper. So yeah, if we can pull off that signing as well, that's showing that we are going for more experienced and world-class player, because he's a world-class keeper, isn't he? And that's something we haven't got in the team right now. Okay, Petrovic has got the tools in the box to become a world-class keeper, but who knows? So if we're going for finished products, it's just showing us that we are going in the right direction. But it's going off, like you said, the last season, plenty of ups and downs, a lot of criticism on the manager, which I thought was not fair. But he's pulled it out of the bag, hasn't he? He's proved the critics wrong. Okay, the Europa Conference League isn't, it's not the Champions League, isn't it? But at the same time, you have to win what's in front of you, and that's what she's done. So fair play. I feel like a lot of it, a lot of the success was on Maresca and the way he can balance the ship. He improved the team. He might not have improved players, but he definitely improved the team.
And, I agree with you on that. I think that's one of the things that people have spoken about with Maresca, isn't it? It's like, individually, he did improve players. Like, we can't dispute that. But if you said to me, I'd say defensively, apart from Cucurella, I'd struggle to name maybe Colwell as well, actually, to be fair. Maybe Colwell is certainly improved towards the latter end of the season. I don't know. It's just mixed, isn't it? I don't even want to shit on Maresca. Today's not the day for that.
Yeah. I just feel like, everyone had their criticism on him. Style of football and all this and that. But ultimately, you are judged on how you improve the team. And we've come so far from the mishmash of Pochettino last season, where we didn't know if it was a counter team, we didn't know if it was a pressing team, we didn't know if it was just a total mess. I still feel like the play at the back football and this inverted style of football doesn't really work, but he's continued to do it, and it's proven that it gets results because we've got top four. And like it or not, top four is a success in my eyes. I feel like next season now, with the right signings, keep the manager in touch. we can compete because we were competed up until January. And if it wasn't for the board of directors getting signings wrong in January, and that's not signing anybody, I feel like we could have been a lot closer to Liverpool. So it's all on the board of directors now. What can they bring in over this transfer window to back Maresca? Because I feel like we could be competing at the top a lot closer to Liverpool than this season.
Yeah, I mean, it won't take much, to be fair. We're going to run through everything as well. So big up to everyone watching. Appreciate everyone that's jumped on at this time. Let's run through some of the questions we've got as well and go for it. I mean, I feel like we've spoken about Maignan. I mean, how much do you think he's worth?
He conceded 5 tonight, by the way. The last 5-3.
Against who?
Spain beat them 5-3.
Of France. Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I didn't watch it. But do you think he's worth? How much do you think he's worth?
Oh, I've seen it. I've seen the 10 million. Bloody hell! I was very cheeky. You're talking about probably top 3 keeper in the world. Let's be honest. And you want offering 10. Okay, his contract's coming to an end, but still, you got to come up with a bit more than 10 million. I think his contract coming to an end, and he obviously wants a fresh start somewhere else. Maybe £20 million would be a reasonable offer. Obviously, we've got some players that AC Milan might like. You know, they've already taken Felix off us. I don't think they go back in for him. But we're looking to offload that many players. Maybe there's a couple of players that we can throw in and a swap deal. So probably 10, 15 million and add in a couple of players that we want to get rid of. Because we have been good to them, haven't we? If you can see the players that they've got of ours at the moment, they've got Loftus-Cheek, Pulisic, you name it, Tomori. They've even got Abraham. Obviously, he didn't come directly from us, but they've got half of our academy there. So maybe we can discuss a swap deal, and we've got a world-class keeper in there, and that's exactly what we need. A world-class keeper and another solid centre-back. That's going to give us a core, something that we've not got, and we need that experience going into a Champions League campaign.
Yeah, I didn't realise he's conceded 5 goals. Apparently, he made a pretty bad mistake as well.
Yeah. Someone put something about Chelsea going for Andre Onana. I don't think he's that bad. To be fair, I don't think he's that bad. But yeah, I've seen that he conceded 5.
Kev's had a few points.
Kev's definitely had a few points. I got a few points, but I'm not quite sure about points. I did 3 points.
Not this time. Maybe on a match day.
Yeah.
Good to see a Vin in the building. Jamar says you can't judge Magic Mike for one match. France's defense was a shambles. Only one goal he should have saved it, and it was Yamal's second goal. The next 4 he had no chance. Bring him to Chelsea. What else have we got regarding Maignan as well? Mike says his heart is fully set on Chelsea. When did he say that? Is that anywhere? Good to see you, Andrew. That is what year is this one? I think it is. Yeah, it's 2005. Yeah, it's 2005. This was my dad's shirt, so I inherited it. So big up to my dad. Good to see everyone in the chat as well. We've got over 130 people in here. Let's get cracking quickly, people. You know, like they say, you want an early goal in a match so that you can, think things are good. We want to get early on the likes. All right, we've already got 43 to be fair, so it's not a bad effort. Let's get up to 75, guys. Let's get up to 75 likes on the live. Smash the like button if you haven't already, and put some questions for Kev as well, people. If you've got any questions that you want Kev to answer, put them in the chat as well. Because, as I said, Kev, it's been a long time, mate. It's been a long time. So I almost feel quite privileged to have you on the show after such a long time. How long has it been?
It's been a couple of weeks. I think it was not last week, the week before. Week before. So it was just before the Nottingham game, just before the week before that. So, yeah, but like I said, difficult week, couple weeks. About to decide. To be fair to you, I needed a break, bro. The season finished. I needed a bit of rest time. So rest time's done now. Back onto the grind. Back onto the grind, my brother.
I stay on the grind.
Yeah,
Subscribe.
you've been at it. That's what I'm saying. You've been at it, but somebody
Twice
needs
a day, baby. Twice a day.
I'm on it, man. I'm here. I'm ready. So you will see a lot more of me, and especially on these evening shows, you'll see a lot more of me in the near future. So yeah, man, it's all good, man. But yeah, just moving forward, man. Obviously, news coming out today. Delap getting a number 9 shirt. I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. I am not sure how I feel about it, considering.
Mate, confidence is key, Kev. Confidence is important.
Yeah, confident. I feel like he will do a decent job, but what I'm trying to get to is with Delap getting number 9. I feel like I thought he would have been one of 2 strikers coming in. With him getting the number 9, is that the end of us looking for another striker? I thought maybe we were going to go for a Goalkeeper or Osherman.
We are going to speak about other positions as well. So hold that thought, Kev, because I just wanted to briefly go for a few more points about Maignan, and then we'll go on to Delap. We'll talk about Palmer, and we'll also speak about Kudos as well from West Ham. Gabriel says if people mud Maignan because of one mistake in the game versus years of top goalkeeping, that's the problem with fans, with fan takes. Jenksy says it's a big worry that we'll sell Petro and fail to get Mike and left with Sanchez without quality backup.
Well, I'm hearing just on that one. Sorry, I'm hearing. Obviously, before we go into, shouldn't really have talked about it, but Kudos, Sanchez going the other way. I've heard that Sanchez is liked by Potter because he worked with him at Brighton. So maybe there's a swap deal there potentially. Just going off the back of that comment.
Hey, well, mate, there could be. Let us know what you think in the chat as well. JC says, "Hey Alex, just watched France versus Spain. Uncomfortable conversation. Maignan might be miles ahead with the ball at his feet, but Sanchez is a better shot stopper. I hope this was a one-off game to forget. Top 3 keeper? Hell no, based on today's performance." Samuel says, Mike Maignan any day, any time over any keeper we have now. UEFA Champions League isn't for the likes of Tyreek, George and Josh. You need class and quality players to compete. Big up to Stephen as well. Amir, I can't actually see the link. So, I can't really copy and paste that. Actually, maybe I can if I go on YouTube, to be fair. So I'll check that in a second. Anything else? Yeah, let's dive into it. I mean, right. So, what did you want to talk about first, Kev? Did you want to get straight into the juice regarding the Kudos deal, or would you rather start off with the lap?
Let's start on a positive. The lap. Start on a positive.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know where these Kudos links have come from. I think he's a decent player, but we'll talk about that after. But yeah, it was going off that Delap number 9 shirt. Really surprised at that. Really surprised at that. I
really?
Thought
nobody else has got it. Does that surprise you?
I thought he would have got number 19 because obviously Sancho going over way. Sancho going back to Man United. I thought Delap would have probably got the number 19 shirt. It's not a risk, but I just thought like that number 9 shirt would have been held out for like a guy Corres or Osherman. I did think we're going in for someone else, but it seems to me that the business is done now. I don't think they'll go in for another striker because I feel like if he got a number 19, maybe there was a space for another striker, but I think they've got the man now, and I feel like this might be the guy they're looking for to take us forward because it's been a long time since we've had a striker who's going to get us 20 goals consistently. Obviously, he never got those numbers last year, but when you consider the team he's playing for, 12 goals for a relegation team, that's not bad at all. Not bad at all. So
that's class. That's more goals than Jackson got us.
Yeah, there you go. So we've better service around him. He's going to be linking up with Palmer. He's going to be linking up with lads that he knows, Lavia. Hopefully, he's the guy to get us back to 20 because that's what we're missing. We need goals. to close that gap on City that are going to be invested well. Liverpool are going to be investing well. To close the gap on them, we need a striker that's going to be bang at it. So hopefully Delap's the man for us.
I mean, do you think that he's a good signing? Because I know a lot of people aren't really happy because we're not showing enough ambition. We got to be going for your Osmans, your Yorkers, etc. See, I'm very much in the camp of honestly, I'm very happy with this signing. I'm chuffed. I'm chuffed with it. The more I think about the fact that we've signed Delap, the more I feel like it's great business. I just think it's great business, and I think it's a great football signing as well. I don't just think it's opportunistic. I think that the profile is what we needed. I don't doubt that we don't need another striker. I'm totally with people on that. And ultimately, we're going to be judged at the end of the window, not the beginning of the window. But I've seen some people complaining over the past few days, and some of them have said, oh my God, look at what Man United are doing. Liverpool are signing Wirtz for 130 million. They've got Frimpong. City are signing these players. What are we doing? I'm like, are you serious? We've actually prepared ourselves quite well for this window for once. We had Santos already. He's coming in. That's an easy slot to upgrade. You got Asugu coming straight into the squad as well. Fingers crossed. I'm on my knees. If we don't get well, originally at least we would have had Petrovic, which is why I'm not particularly bothered about the signing of Maignan, to be honest with you. Like, if we don't do it, I'm not here crying. I'm really not in that camp. And I know Charlie's pissed off because I had a big argument with him on the podcast about it. He says it's a disgrace if we don't sign Maignan. It's not a disgrace. We've already got a keeper who's look. I know that Maignan is a clear upgrade on everyone we've got. I'm not disputing that, but I don't think the gap between top keepers and what I've seen from Petrovic over the past 2 years, I don't think the gap is. I think that he can close that gap, Kev. I'm not joking. I really believe he can.
Mate, we could fill the full 11 of keepers.
I'm not here advocating for Mike Penders, Kev. I'm advocating for Petrovic.
Yeah, no, I'm understanding, but we've got that many keepers on the books at the minute. We need to offload a few before we start looking to sign any more.
Yeah, of course.
It's not a priority.
So get rid of Sanchez, loan out Penders, and maybe Jorgensen as well. But I wouldn't get rid of Petrovic.
Yeah.
My God. I think that's just strange. Especially when I hear the money that's going around for the guy, which is 25 million euros. It's not even pounds. At least that's what we've heard. But I hope that's not true. But again, sorry, just coming back to Delap, we went a bit off there.
Yeah.
So I think he's a good sign. Me, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. I think it's great value. I think he's a good player, and I think he's a young player with a lot of potential. And I think it's a good fit for our squad as well. So it's not a 9 out of 10 because again, he's not established.
I quite like the facts with this sign up. He's got a high ceiling. All the attributes are there to become a really good striker. And the games that he's played against us, he surely showed us that he's capable. The game at Portman Road, he absolutely killed us. If it wasn't for his work rate and his press and his desire to get on the ball, it just don't beat us that day 2-0. That 2-2 draw against Stamford Bridge, he was running his socks off. I felt that was his game where he wanted to prove himself to us, the fans and the players and the staff, that he's capable. And I think that was the game which got him the contract. And I quite like the fact that we've got it over the line pretty sharpish. We haven't wasted no time. We know we've identified that we need a striker. We've gone and got one straight away. You look at the game against Nottingham Forest. You spent all these millions of pounds, and you've got Neto as your striker playing against that Malajevic and the other Brazilian guy, two of the best centre backs in the league. We needed another striker. We've identified that we needed one, and we've gone and done the business. £30 million for a striker with that ceiling is not bad business. But at the same time, it's always a risk when you're looking at potential, because it is
always
potential.
a risk, Kev. But again, we're not risking 50 million. And that's another reason I think is a great deal. You're not actually spending that much. You've got him for a great price, presumably on a decent wage.
Yeah.
On a 6-year deal, as far as I'm aware, about 5 or 6 year deal. So I just, even if it doesn't work, it's like we'll be able to sell the guy. We will be able to sell him and probably recoup all of our money back. Because in the modern day, a lot
yeah.
of teams will pay more than 30 million for a striker.
It's only gonna be profit. It's only gonna be, even if he flops, you're still gonna get £30 million there or thereabouts. It's not gonna be like we're losing that, and that's what I feel like these board members have got in mind. But I feel like with this Delap guy, even if he has a bad performance, I feel like that work rate is going to be there, and that's what the fans like. It's the fact that with Jackson, if he has a bad game, he will not chase the ball there. He'll lose that part of his game. With Delap, I feel like he's got that much of a good mindset for a young lad, a good mentality. I feel like he will always do the dirty work first, and the goals will come after. So, brilliant signing. I thought, like I said, 8 out of 10 would be a reasonable.
I give him an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, that's
there's room for improvement.
Good
but
business.
As a squad player,
yeah,
nobody will complain.
But my only argument is we needed a striker with different characteristics to what we've got. I feel like Jackson.
You don't think that Delap has different characteristics? I mean, I know he has similarities.
He's a better finisher than Jackson. He can shoot better than Jackson for one. But I mean that the press and the work rate and the dropping deep and the going wide is not your. He's not your out and out number 9. I think he's more of a attacking forward. I'm looking for a poacher. I'm looking for a striker that's in the box. I'm looking for an Usherman who's just back post, go Corres, back post, put it in the mixer, header in the goal. Liam Delap's not giving you that. I'm sure that we can improve him and adjust his game to be that striker further down the line. But if you're looking for a striker, what we need, we've been crying out for how many years, just someone just to get in the box, in the 6 yards, and just tap the ball in. He's not that kind of striker. Liam Delap is an all-out number 9 who wants to link up play, wants to go wide, he wants to be involved with the build-up play. We need a striker with different characteristics. So that's my only argument on it, but time will tell. Obviously, we've got Christopher Nkinku that might be going out the doors. Who's to say that he doesn't get sold and we're bringing another striker? So hopefully that's the case.
Sold, mate. He's gone. Nkunku's gone.
Hopefully that's the case.
No, he's not going to be going anywhere. To be fair, sorry, he's not going to be staying at Chelsea. That's what I mean. And then obviously Palmer's got the new number 10 as well because, well, it doesn't look like Mudryk is coming back anytime soon. So
yeah,
he's going to move to the number 10 ahead of the 25-26 campaign, starting from the FIFA Club World Cup. So in America, we will see for the first time Cole Palmer playing with the number 10. To be honest with you, I've seen a few, I wouldn't call them memes, but pictures and pictures of Hazard, and then, picture of Palmer, and it says number 10 is in safe hands. So I think that, to be honest with you, he's very much deserving of that number, and big up to him.
Yeah, 100%, and well deserved. When Mudryk got it in the first place, I was a bit surprised because Mudryk, yeah, to say no more. But yeah, Palmer's got the number 10, and I'm sure he'll thrive in it. I'm sure he'll step up to it as well, because there's a picture that I've seen of him sending Hazard a message about 10 years ago, because he was a massive fan of Hazard, saying you're the best player around. He actually DM'd him saying you're the best number 10 around, etc., etc. And full circle moment, 10 years down the line, he's got the number 10 for Chelsea. So what a moment that is. And I'm sure he'll rise up to that, because that number 10, it's one of them numbers for us it's been a successful number. You got the number 9, which hasn't been, but the number 10, we have seen some brilliant players over the years, starting with Juan Mata. I think that Joel Cole was the first number 10, really. And then after that, we went with Juan Mata. He was a brilliant player. And then obviously it was Eden Hazard. Willian had it for a moment as well. And then obviously now Palmer with the ones that have really stood out. So he's got a lot of expectations to step up to that number, but I'm sure he will. With his confidence and the way he performed in that final, we've seen the Palmer of old, and hopefully now we can start see more of that with this new number 10 shirt.
Do you think that he's going to continue to play in that 10 position, or do you think that Maresca might be more flexible with him next season? Because we know that he obviously played on the right under Poch. Do you think that we're just going to continue to play Palmer in the natural number 10?
He needs to be flexible with him. Look at what happened. So the 2 last games of the season. Look what happens when you make slight adjustments to Palmer, and look at the joy you get just through giving him the tools to get into other positions. You can see what he does. Everybody knows the strength of the guy. The goal we set up for Jackson's goal in the final, that was from him from the right side. If I reminded myself, it was from the right, wasn't it? Yeah. He's from the right. So you've got to be versatile with Palmer. I think teams know what to do when he's in the cam, because what they're doing now is they're getting a man-to-man marking, and it's kind of knocking his game. If you put him on the right-hand side, you're giving him more space to get on the ball. And he's our best player. So it's down to Maresca to obviously mix and match at each game. You got to keep the opposing teams thinking. If you keep starting him in that 10, they're going to do their homework and say they're going to get a player to do a number on him. If 1 week you start him on the right, the next 2 weeks you start him in the middle, you're giving the opposing managers a headache because you don't know where he's going to play. So your tactical plan throughout that week to stop him has gone out the window. So I feel like he's going to keep on adjusting him. Maybe start him on the right 1 week and then start him in the second half, put him in the middle. Or the first half, put him through the middle, and then second half, put him on the right. Because he will win your games. It's clear to see that. He kind of won us the game against Nottingham Forest. Second half, it was different ball game, just because of him picking up positions and pulling players out of their positions against Real Betis. Yeah. 2 absolutely amazing assists, playing him up, bringing him from the middle to the right. So hopefully Maresca can utilize his talents and just keep him changing them around. Because, like I said, he's going to win your games. He's that much of a brilliant player.
It's true, Kev. You know, there's more news coming out, obviously regarding Maignan. I saw, God, who was it that said? Someone posted that earlier on. Apparently, he's asked to leave. Yeah, apparently he's actually said, "I want to leave and go to Chelsea." So is it Ben Jacobs? Let's double check this one. So we might have some breaking news. Love a bit of breaking news. Yeah. So here we go. So this is what Ben Jacobs said. Understand, Maignan is not that breaking, to be fair. A couple hours. Maignan has told Chelsea Milani wants to join Chelsea. No guarantee a move happens as Milan's 20 to 25 million price remains. But the French keeper has now made it clear he wants to leave. Chelsea expected to place a bid to see if they can secure Maignan before the club World Cup. That's according to Alex Crook, who's part of TalkSport, if I'm not wrong. Yes, he's part of TalkSport. We also had updates earlier from the BBC as well. Similar things from the BBC, to be fair, just saying that we are in talks. They wrote a small little segment about it, saying that the Italian club valued Maignan at about 25 million pounds, but the Blues do not want to meet that price and are in talks about a lower fee. The 29-year-old has been a regular for Milan since joining on a 5-year contract from Lille in 2021. He's also been first choice for France since Hugo Lloris retired from international football in January 2023 and has won 30 caps since his debut in 2020. Sources have told the BBC that Maignan would be interested in a move to Stamford Bridge. Obviously, we've struggled with our goalkeepers ever since Courtois left. We signed Kepa for 71 million. This is obviously considerably cheaper. So we'll have to see what happens with regards to that deal. But I'll be honest with you, Kev, mate. If you have a player that does not want to be a part of your club, then I think you've already got a huge problem. You can't keep a player that doesn't want to be a part of your club, and try and keep them at the center of your plans. If you're talking about pushing on to new heights, I mean, it's obvious. I mean, the fact that he's already said, and this is according to Ben Jacobs as well, he's told Milan he wants to join Chelsea. He wants to leave. He doesn't want to be there anymore. Now, there's a part of you that says, okay, he can be a professional, he can move on. And then there's another part of you which goes, his head's not in it anymore, Kev. And especially, I know this, if I was working for a company and I said I want to leave, which is a big thing to say when you've been at a company for 4 years, which is how long Magnan's been at AC Milan, it's very hard to come back from that. How does the dressing room treat you? How do the fans look at you knowing that you tried to leave? I just think it puts you in a bit of a sticky situation. So when we look at Maignan in that sense, I think that, I think that this is something that might not happen before the Club World Cup, because I think Milan would drive a hard bargain, but I can definitely see this being pushed out. And if you've got a player who don't want to be there and he says, listen, I'm not playing for you anymore, then they will be forced to sell, or they'll just keep paying for a player who don't want to be there.
And the thing is as well, mate. Yeah. The thing is as well, you got to think of it is he's coming to the end of his contract, so he's obviously not going to sign a new contract. Next year, he goes for free. So this is the thing now. AC Milan are stuck in a bit of a predicament here where they have to get rid of him quick and look for replacements. And when you think that we've got another 8 keepers on the books, why not take one of our keepers? I don't know. Maybe a Sokdo Petrovic.
Are you talking about a swap deal?
Yeah, maybe Kepa. Kepa's had a Kepa's had a brilliant season for Bournemouth.
Actually, speaking of Kepa, big up to Brendan. Thanks for the super chat, mate. He says Arsenal are interested in Kepa. Is that genuine? Is that concrete? Are they actually interested in?
Arsenal have been linked with everybody. Arsenal are just linked with everybody. God. You know what's going to happen there, don't you? They're going to end up getting nobody. So I wouldn't even look into that deeply.
Where's that link come from?
I'm not sure. But yeah, going off Maignan, stuck in a bit of position, and they've got to get rid because he'll just go for free. And AC Milan, they finished 8th, I believe, last season. 8th in Serie A. So no Champions League football for them. They're losing their better players. Tierna Renyes, is it? He's just gone to AC Milan, gone to City, sorry. So they're losing their best players. Maybe he wants out. He wants Champions League football. It's a win-win. But I'm just concerned that we've got too many goalkeepers on the books at the moment. We need to offload a few. Sanchez being one, Kepa being another, maybe a loan deal for Jorgensen or something. We've got too many at the moment. We need to look to offload. But yeah, if Maignan was the case of us, if we did get Maignan, with him being a goalkeeper coming in, brilliant business. He's an excellent keeper, experienced in Champions League. Wow, top pedigree player. So yeah, I'm all for it. But at the same time, just a bit concerned that 9 goalkeepers on your books. It's not a good look, is it, bro? 9 goalkeepers, mate.
No, it's not. Well, it depends how you're using them and how you're utilizing them. I mean, if you've just got 9 keepers for the sake of 9 keepers, but then what happens to those keepers is going to be interesting over the next however many years. Because if we sold 7 of those keepers for a profit and 2 of them ended up playing for us and playing well, then you'd argue it was all right. But I mean, if you're doing nothing with these keepers, then I mean, there's just you might as well not have them in the first place.
Yep, most definitely.
So I'm just looking at the Kepa news as well. So it's Pies. Pies is the one who's spoken about Kepa. I have to say, I'm a bit surprised about the Arsenal link, to be honest with you, because I don't really see. Well, I mean, he would be the number 2. He would. He's not going to play ahead of Raya. But why would he want to be the number 2 when he's just been the number 1 at Bournemouth and had a good year? Why would you sacrifice You know, because he's not getting any younger. He's got to be in his 30s now, Kepa, right? 30 at least.
20, late 20s, I think.
Game time.
Yeah. Nah, but you consider how massive a league campaign is. He's going to get the League Cup. He's going to get the FA Cup. He's got the Champions League. There's going to be plenty of opportunities for him to get game time. So, and obviously, with a goalkeeper position, there's only one or two. If he comes in, Devon Wright has a couple of bad performances, and Kepa comes in, improves himself. You never know; he could be their number one. So that's good news for everybody else. That's good news for everybody else, isn't it? Oh yeah, obviously, yeah. Going off last season, you got to give him his stripes. He had a good season at Brighton, but I don't even want him anywhere near the way he disrespected this club. Don't want him nowhere near Cobham, nowhere near the bridge. Just get him gone. Take whatever amount of money what's given, but you got to think of his wage demands. The guy's on 250 grand a week, I think, something daft. So he's on some big wages, man.
He's not on $250,000, but he'll be on. You know,
he's on big wages.
He'll be on over 150, I reckon.
Yeah, he's on some big wages because let's be real, we signed him for 55 million pounds.
I reckon his wage is about 170. Yeah. 170.
Yeah, so big wages, big ego as well. Let's be real. So hopefully we can get a couple off the books, and that Maignan signing makes a lot more sense. But yeah, interesting times at Chelsea, man. Like I said, but it's all good with the news that we're going for experience, and that's what we want. That's what we want to hear. This Champions League campaign, we cannot have any. We can't afford to be going into this campaign to compete. I'm not all for it. Just going in there just to say we've got that little badge on our side of and the speak. Be happy with that. I want to go out there and try and win it. It's going to win it or nothing. And we've got. I can't say we've got the right manager, but we've got decent enough players to go and do a good job in the Champions League. So with the right signings now, that will show us up a bit more. But yeah, interesting times, brother. And yeah, I'm completely with the Maignan signing. I'm completely with it.
No, I'm with it as well. Thanks for the super chat as well, Brendan. Appreciate it, mate. No, listen again. I don't want to sit here and say I'm against the sign of Maignan. I'm not. I just don't really have a problem with the fact that we're penny pinching. I think if we were doing this with Osimhen, it's totally different. If we were doing this with Rodrigo, I think it's totally different. If we were doing this with, a centre back, it would be different, because those are positions that are a real concern at the moment. Because we need all of those positions. I know people say our defensive record has been good, but you cannot count on Fofana to stay fit. We're going to sell Disasi. Badia Shield's not good enough. So then you've got Colwell and Tossin and Chalobah, who you're going to sell anyway. So actually, there's not as much there as you would think. We potentially have, what's his name, Sarr from Strasbourg coming in. I don't know the details of that, actually. I need to be more well-versed. Let me know in the chat. But I would like to see Mark Gurhey coming in. I would have loved Rodrigo, but it doesn't look like we're going to go down that route.
That was just a load of gas from the start, bro. Osimhen and Rodrigo, bro. I never believed it in the first place.
Osimhen wasn't gas from the start because we would negotiate. We were there, mate. But we just, again, we were penny pinching with Osimhen. I say penny pinch. I mean, he was asking for some serious cash. A little bit different. With Maignan, for me, it's like if we get him, I'm happy. If we don't get him, it's not the end of the world, because I'm happy with Petrovic. I like Petrovic. I think he's good. I think he's great. I think he's absolutely top. People go, well, he's not world class. I think he can be world class. And that's my opinion on Petrovic based on what I've seen. I think that we are looking at a goalkeeper with world class potential. And I don't say that about many players. I'm genuinely convinced with that, guys. So hold me to it. Maybe he'll play for us and he'll be great. Maybe he'll play for us and he'll be rubbish. Maybe he won't play for us and we'll just sell him anyway. Who knows? But yeah, for me, I don't have an issue with the Maignan signing. Again, I don't take that France game. I do take it with a pinch of salt. But yeah, I mean, we're not signing a young player either, Kev. We're signing guys who's going to be 30 next month. So as much as goalkeepers can play well into their sort of late 30s, it's still nice to know that you've got a guy like Petrovic who's 25 and you can probably get even longer out of it. So I don't know. I'm looking at it from a number of ways. If it was an Abramovich signing that brought Petrovic in, I'd be like, well, I can understand why Clear Lake don't want him to be involved in their project, but they signed him. So that's why I don't get why they're looking to sell him on, because they're not even trying to get a good price for the guy. I mean, if you get 5 million for Kepa, fair enough. I mean, I think we can all celebrate that, just getting his wages off the book. And
did we sign him for 75 mil, or was it?
About 70 odd. Yeah, 72, I think. 72. Yeah, it was a lot of money, mate, that we signed Kepa for.
Absolutely diabolical signing, wasn't it? Wow.
Yeah, it wasn't great, was it? I mean, speaking of which, I mean, do you think this would be a good signing, getting Mohamed Kudos in? According to the BBC, it says Chelsea are among the clubs to have engaged in early discussions with West Ham over Mohamed Kudos, who has a release clause of £85 million. That's for Premier League sides. He also has a Saudi release clause of £120 million, which is what I read earlier. So he has two different release clauses for different leagues. So that I found that quite interesting. So they do have an article on the BBC about that. What does it say? Yeah, we've engaged in early discussions with West Ham over the Ghanaian. Chelsea goalkeeper Robert Sanchez is among the players to have been mentioned during early talks. The Blues, however, are not the only club to have expressed an interest in Kudos, with at least one other Premier League side and several overseas monitoring his situation. It is understood Kudos is open to leaving the London Stadium before next season, particularly to a club that can provide him with Champions League football. His release fee, which reaches 120 million for clubs in Saudi Arabia, might prove a significant hurdle, and it remains to be seen whether West Ham would be willing to accept a lower price. Arsenal are also apparently interested. Listen, he's got 3 years left on his deal, though. So we speak about the Maignan situation. We have the leverage. West Ham aren't under any pressure to sell Kudos. There's no pressure there. They can keep a hold of him for another season and still sell him for a good price next summer if they wanted to. So, and also this is after, if I'm not wrong, guys, I'll be honest, I haven't watched much West Ham this year. Barely watched any, actually. I'm sure I watched more games with Lopetegui than Potter. That's how much West Ham I've watched. I mean, how's Kudos been? Because I thought from what I've seen previously, he was having quite a poor season.
Last season was a lot better, wasn't he?
Last season he was great, but I don't know how he's been this season. So let me know in the comments.
Yeah, I think the whole West Ham team as a collective haven't been the best. I think Lou Bugatti, he never had the players to suit his style of football. It was clear to see the high line and all that was horrible to see from him. And we exposed that at the start of the season. I think it's knocked a few players down a peg. Bowen being one, Kudus being another one. Their performances have been have gone backwards because of the way they're set up. Obviously, with Potter, they've started finding the feet, they stayed up, and that was their main priority.
Yeah, but they have been crap, mate. I mean, they weren't. Exactly
they've been Kudos has been shit, but like I said, it's down to.
I'm talking about West Ham in general, mate. Like, it's not like they've had a lot of competition from the likes of Ipswich and all these other teams.
Nah, the teams down at the bottom: Tottenham, Man U, West Ham, Wolves.
Did they finish above Man U and Tottenham? They did, didn't they?
Just about.
Oh my god!
No. They West Ham finished 4th from bottom, I think, and it was no, Tottenham 4th from bottom, and then it was West Ham, Wolves, then Man United.
Yeah, it was Tottenham, Wolves, Man United, West Ham.
Yeah.
Fucking hell! The fact that, oh my god! Do you know what? Yeah. By the way, I got a message in my WhatsApp group chat earlier on, like an hour or two ago. Apparently, Postecoglou has been sacked. Does anyone know anything about that?
Yeah, I'm hearing that they're going to cut ties with him and they're going for Brentford. Tommy Frank, yeah.
I think that'd be a smart move. I mean, finishing fucking 17th. That is horrendous.
Unbelievable. But they've won the Europa League, which has taken. But you can't finish 17th place with that team. That team is not a 17th, irrespective of the injuries that they've got. That's not a 17th place team with Europa League or not. They've got to be finishing top 10. Same in Man United. I feel like if Ruben Amorim.
Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't even think that United team is a top 10 team.
Nah, shit.
You look at the table right now, Kev. Right, we'll go through the teams. You tell me which ones are better. Obviously, everyone in the Champions League, basically everyone from Forest, we can agree they're all better than United at the moment. Better players, like just better. I think that Brighton are better than United. I think that Bournemouth are better than United. I think that Brentford are better than United. I think Fulham are better than United. Palace for me is where we have the debate, but I'd probably give Palace the edge. To be totally honest with you. So I would say that United they are better than Everton. I'd put them as the 13th best team in the league right now. If you were looking at it on paper, obviously knowing what we know now as well, I would have never predicted them to finish 13th. But yeah.
It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. And I feel like if Ruben Amorim had started the season and had finished 16th, he would have been 15th. He would have been sacked. But obviously, he started off with him in a similar position, and he never got backed, and he never got the players that he wanted to. But there's a massive clear out needed at Man United. But we'll leave that to them to think about. We'll talk about Chelsea, and we'll go back to Kudos. So your question to me was, what do you feel about Kudos? I feel like as a backup in the cam to Palmer.
No, he's not a cam, mate.
He can play cam. He can play.
He's a right winger, isn't he?
No, he can play right wing, cam, left wing, and striker. He can play across the front four.
Okay.
He can play in all four positions.
I saw a comment saying that he can't play on the left. Maybe that's just one person.
He could play across the all. He's more better on the right hand side because he likes to cut in his left foot, and he can also play cam as a striker. I feel as a backup to what we've got, not a bad signing, but do we really need it? I just don't feel like we do. We've got that much play. We've got Kanji Paez coming in. We've got Estavo Willian coming in. We've still. Apparently, we're trying to offload Madueke, AC Milan being one of the teams looking at him. I feel like in those attacking positions, obviously we've got Felix that we need to offload, Chukwuemeka we need to offload. There's that many players in that camp. I feel like we need to look to offload some first.
Do you agree with what Kuzi said, that he would be the best winger in our team immediately?
Kudos. If take Palmer out of the equation, he wouldn't be.
Yeah, but I mean, Palmer's not really playing as a winger at the moment. I wouldn't even class him as a winger right now. To Maresca.
I have no. Kudos is a class player.
Better than Neto. That's really the debate, isn't it? Because he is better than Madueke
in different ways, different ways.
And he is better than Tyreek George, and he's better than what we had in Sancho.
Madueke.
I mean, he's a good player.
Madueke.
Yeah, he's better than Madueke.
I feel like the thing is with Kudos, he has got different characteristics to what we've got. I feel like the wings that we've got already, they are more dribblers and wanting to run at players. Kudos is not that kind of winger. Kudos will already be in that position. He'll turn. He's got good body strength. He'll wiggle his way in. He'll turn. He'll get shots away. He'll turn up at the back post with finishes. He's a totally different striker to what we've got now. So maybe a sign of the Kudos in respect of having a winger who's going to be different to what we've got makes sense. But I feel like we need to offload a few players first. I mean,
Tim says if Noni or Neto left, I'd take him, but Sancho's left. Mudryk isn't here anymore. You know, we do need some wingers in there. I'm not going to lie to you. What happens if Neto gets injured? Then who are you going to play? Tyreek George
and Willian coming in.
That's true. Yeah, I forgot. I always forget about Willian. We've got Kendry Pires. Apparently, Kendry Pires is going to take place in our
World Cup.
Club World Cup squad as well, which is good news. I mean, I'm looking forward to
Yeah.
seeing Pires in there. Although I don't think he'll stay with Chelsea for the whole season.
No, it's going to Strasbourg. Going to Strasbourg.
Yeah, I mean, there's been reports about Strasbourg for ages, so I think we'll probably run on that one. Interesting link as well. This is not the first time I've ever seen this link, if I'm not wrong. Or maybe it was Ruben Diaz we were interested in before. That was like a year ago or something. Was that like a year ago we were interested in Ruben Diaz?
Yeah. Last season.
Anyway, apparently we're interested in former Man City centre-back Aymeric Laporte, who is, if I'm not wrong, playing in Saudi at the moment.
Yes, he is,
right?
He plays for Ronaldo's team.
Al Nassr.
He plays for Ronaldo's team. Is Al Nassr?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you make of him? Because when he was at City, he was a decent player. He was a quality player, mate.
Solid.
Very popular choice and pretty reliable, good at distributing the ball as well. He's 31 as it stands, so he's not young. So he's another older player that we're being linked with at the moment. He's been capped by Spain. He's won, a lot of the trophies that there are to win in the game. I'll be honest with you, mate. I'm not opposed to it, although I haven't. I can't sit here and pretend that I've been watching the Saudi Pro League for a long time because I haven't. That's the reality of it. I mean, he spent most of his peak playing in Manchester. Obviously, they got him from Athletic Bilbao, and then he got bought by City, and he's only really gone down in value since he's been at Al Nassr. 31 in terms of the amount of games he's played this season. He's been involved in 20 games in the league, starting 50% of matches. Or is that all games? Hang on. Sorry, mate. Let's have a look. Current season. How many games has he played this year? It's always worrying if they don't play many. So he's played 30 games, which actually isn't a lot. That's not that much, is it, Kev?
No.
If you're a regular starter, you'll play more than 30 games.
He had his injury problems, didn't he, towards the back end of his City career, from what I can remember. Okay,
yeah, sorry. So he had, you're right. He's had thigh problems.
Yeah, he had a few injuries. Him and Ruben Diaz, both of them, they've not really had the best track record. But from what I can remember of him, solid centre back. He was probably one of the best centre backs at one point. Him, Stones, and Ruben Diaz, they were solid throughout that Champions League winning campaign. And then obviously the money came up start of last season and he was gone, which a lot of players are looking to do right now. Asherman, I think he's very close to going to Saudi Arabia as well. So a lot of players are jumping ship. It's not nothing normal. To bring him back, age of 31, solid international, won the Premier League, won the Champions League. Obviously, he's a French talking, Spanish talker. Link well with what we've got.
He's a French talking, Spanish talker. I like that one.
He's French, isn't he? But he's actually French. But we
need English, mate. That's what we need.
Yeah,
I mean, I
feel like he's got all the characteristics and he's got the experience. I am not against signing Laporte.
His contract doesn't expire until next summer, so he's not a free. He's got a year left on his deal. But the thing is, when you're dealing with the Saudis, guys, they don't care about selling a guy because they've got a year left on their contract. They don't give a fuck.
They'll sell him for cheap. They're not bothered.
Well, it's either that because they don't care and he doesn't want to be a part, and they probably don't want a player that doesn't want to be there, or they're saying we don't need your money, so we're going to demand a lot from anyway because we don't care if we do lose him on a free, and that's the flip side. So we'll see what happens there. I mean, me personally, looking at this particular deal, I'm not massively opposed, but I'm not. I haven't seen enough of him to really judge it. I mean, if you could say yes or no off the back, I'd be like fine for a loan or whatever like that.
He ticks all the boxes for me, bro. Experience-wise, He's won Champions League. He's won the Premier League. He's played under the best manager. He's played with the best players. Experienced pro. That's exactly what we need. That is exactly what we need going into the Champions League campaign. Someone of his experience, that level. Like there's 3 or 4 centre backs that I could say that are a similar level, and that's what him. Diaz, there's Bastoni, there's Jimenez from Atletico Madrid. Those age brackets, 28 to 32. That's when you're at your peak as a centre back, and I feel like Laporte is at his peak. So why not? I would be fully for that signing, and I think it would make a lot of sense from an experience standpoint.
Interesting one as well. When we look at when we look at Hugo Ekitike as well, apparently we're still pushing for him. Liverpool are the main competition. This is according to Pletty-Goal. Doesn't seem to be an issue in terms of the player. It seems to be the club, which is not the same, which is the same, sorry, as Mike Maignan. So we don't seem to struggle with negotiating with players individually, unless it's Victor Osimhen. It's just about that fee, and they want about £84 million. That's about 100 million euros. I don't think he's worth that, but I can appreciate why he's worth that to Strasbourg, having already sold Marmoush to City for about 75 million. So, I mean, from their perspective, they don't really need to sell. I mean, they won't sell unless it's for a very good price. So, I mean, Kev, do you know anything about Ekitike? I can tell you he's got very good stats this year. He's played lots of games.
He's got massive.
But it's only over one season, Kev. He's not been doing this for a number of seasons. And this is
he's still young. Still a young lad. Mate, I'm telling you, he is absolutely rapid. He's rapid. I don't watch the German league, but obviously when we get linked to players, I'll go and put in the names and I'll do some scouting and I'll go on YouTube and do some research on them. And from what I can see, he's an absolute speed freak. If a team's playing the high line and you've got him going in behind, no defenders catching him. He's rapid and he can finish as well. Really good finisher of the ball. I don't know too much about him. All I know is that he's had a couple of seasons at Frankfurt. Prior to that, he was in the French league. So don't know too much about him, but all I know is that he's a very rapid player and he can finish. That's it, really. Is that what we need right now? We've got Delap. He's pretty quick. We've got Jackson. He's pretty quick as well. Both got similar characteristics to what Ekitike. What how do you pronounce his name again now?
Ekitike.
Ekitike.
You're making me fuck it up.
Ekitike. Ekitike. Yeah. So both got similar characteristics to him. I think that we just need to shy away from that mold of striker. When you think of it like this, the last striker that we had with box presses was Giroud, and he was slow. But what was he good at doing? He was good in the box. Giroud was absolutely amazing in the box. That's all I want. I want an in-box striker. I'm not bothered about the work you're going to do off the ball, like running down the wings and etc. I just want the strikers to be able to get into position to cross the ball, look up, put the ball in the box and score a goal. That's it. And do that on a consistent basis. So I feel like, is he the one to do that? The only strikers that I'm looking for that can do that at the moment is Sesko. He's brilliant in the air. There's Goalkeeper and Osimhen. Those are the 3 strikers of a mold I'll be looking for. There's also that Palace striker as well. He's good at holding the ball.
What's his name? Oh God,
French one.
Mateta.
Yeah, he's a striker that he's brilliant at holding the ball and good in the box, and that's all I want. So yeah, I just feel like the board of directors really need to be looking at what we've got and looking at the total opposites. If you've got a striker which is good running down the channels and linking play up, you need a striker which is good in the box. You don't need the same, because what happens when the thing is in a game where that striker is dropping deep and the defenders have nullified it, you want to change your tactics and say, you know what, wingers, let's get the ball in the box. You need someone that's going to get on the end of it, just to change the tactics at half time. The strikers that we've got at the moment, they're not going to give you that in-box presence. So that's what we need right now. We need to go for someone a bit different.
You said that very well, Kev. Listen, big up to everyone. Smash the like button if you haven't already. We've done pretty well, actually, guys. I have to say, you know, sometimes we have to say it, but you know what? Big up. We've got quite a few likes, to be fair. Already over 100, so I appreciate that. 112 as it stands. We've got almost 200 of you in there, so let's close that gap. Let's get as close to 200 as we possibly can. Bring on 150, I say. Let's see it if we can do it. Kev, mate, I really appreciate you jumping on. I'm not going to lie. I cannot remember the last time that I did a live with someone else. I have just been banging them out on my own, mate.
Alex, don't worry, man. I've got you, brother. I'm back again now. I'm back. Don't worry.
You know what? I have to say, I feel extremely relaxed knowing that, you know, I can ask a question and you'll
I'm here.
give an opinion. I'm
here.
oh my
I'm
God.
going to be here. I'm going to be here tomorrow night. I'm going to be here. Remember, I'm the one that hit you up tonight, brother. And like I said, I've had a bit of a bumpy last week or so, but I'm back again. And hopefully we can push these lives, man. But yeah, thanks for all the likes. Thanks for all the comments and everything else from all the fans jumping on tonight. Big up to yourselves, and plenty more to come. And hopefully we can get this transfer window right, because it's exciting times, man. Listen, for more than negativity that went on last season, exciting times. We get the Champions League. We're back. We're back. You know,
we're back.
We are back.
Oh yeah. We are back in the big time. That's true.
Back in the bit. I just want us to. The board of directors are going to be smart with how they spend the money. The money's going to be available, but they've got to start thinking out of the box now. We can't keep going for the same mold of players. You know, we need to start having players with different characteristics so we can change up, and you know, it's going to work in our favour. So hopefully, yeah. Big up everybody, and more than anything, big up to Todd Bowley for getting us back in the Champions League.
Oh, fuck, you know, you were doing so well, Kev. You were doing so well.
I know. I'm only joking, everybody. Don't fucking dig me out. I'm only joking.
Oh God, I don't. You know what? I don't. Come on, guys. We're getting a bit carried away here. Let's not. Oh God, there's more. No, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. We like these messages though. Thank you, Dandy. Big up to you as well, Shano. Listen, appreciate all your time, guys. We will catch up very soon. All the best, and enjoy the rest of your evenings. All right, up the Chelsea.